Okay, so today I'm going to be reviewing Psycho 2, which came out in 1983. And it's 22 years later, and Norman Bates is coming home. So I don't do story summaries in my reviews. I'm assuming that you've already seen the movie if you're watching a review of the movie. So I will never do a story summary. Just throw that out there. Here are my thoughts on the picture. It's another slow build-up, which it's keeping in style with what the original was doing. Norman is surprisingly the most sympathetic character in the entire movie, and that's hard to believe, and because we know the entire time what Norman did in the past. I mean, we're reminded of it in the very opening scene, and I think the opening's really stupid. The opening is a flashback of the shower scene. And that doesn't make sense to me why they would do that. Well, I mean, it makes sense, but it's idiotic. If they were going to flashback to the original, they should have flashback to the ending of the original movie so we remember where he was at, not where he was at 40 minutes into that movie. I hate that opening. It almost ruins the entire movie. It's like, what the heck, guys? I don't know why they did that. The death total. The death total, it's mentioned in this film. This redefines the first film death total. It claims 7 people died, and yesterday when I reviewed Psycho, I had listed 4. 2 were mentioned, 2 were seen on screen. So I either missed 3 or they're first referred to here, which I'm thinking that's what it is. There's 5 in this film, although in the original script it's revealed, and this is a spoiler, it's revealed that Mary survives the gunshot, and that goes along with the dialogue you hear at the end of the film. Because when I was watching that bothered me because I was like, wait, she's dead. Why are they saying that? It's because she's not dead. And that was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. They should have left those lines in, referring that she survived the gunshot, but she went crazy. Um, I think this is an extraordinary sequel, and it has lots of twists and turns, and it really jerks you around. And that's the thing about this movie is when you walk into the original Psycho, most, if not all, know what the story is. So the twists and turns that were groundbreaking and shocking back in those days aren't anymore because we know they're coming. We know that the shower scene is coming, and most people know that the mother is dead, and it's Norman who's doing the killing. I mean, we just know this. It's a part of our culture. We understand this. Whereas in Psycho 2, not nearly the legacy as Psycho 1. Don't get me wrong. Psycho 2, like, if you asked probably 10 people, one person might know that there was a sequel to Psycho. And there was plenty of sequels to Psycho, but Psycho 2, the reason that this film is so extraordinary today is because we don't know what the twists and turns are, and there's plenty of them. So that, in essence, makes it a wonderful viewing experience of today. Not to say that the original Psycho isn't a wonderful viewing experience, but I can't I can't even imagine what it would have been like originally in 1960 in the theaters and not knowing what was going to happen. That would have been pretty extraordinary. The ending. I found the ending to be very satisfying. I think it'll be satisfying for any horror fan, but any like casual fan of the original, I think they'll be disappointed in it. I was very pleased and pumped up by the ending. I thought the ending was awesome. But okay, here we go. The best aspects of the movie. Anthony Perkins acting again. I mean, like, and Tom Holland's writing. Him and Anthony, we feel like we're going crazy along with Norman. And I don't think we felt that in the original. I really don't. I think that's something that the sequel added to this franchise. I think it's extraordinary. Is that we as the audience members are going crazy along with them because they just jerk you around so much. And with such a huge gap, um, it creates a great distance, and it's possibly the greatest distance from original to sequel with a carryover actor in horror film history. I mean, that's extraordinary. Him coming back to play this character again 22 years later. That's unheard of. But yeah, so I would give Psycho 2 3 out of 4 stars. Would I recommend it in comparison to the original? That depends on who you are. If you're a horror fan, yes, you should definitely see Psycho 2. It is one of the best, if not the best, horror film sequel I have ever seen in my life. If you're not a horror fan, don't see Psycho 2. Seriously. I mean, it's not worth it. You probably don't even know it exists, and why would you be watching this review unless you knew this film existed? So, that's my spill on Psycho 2. Tomorrow, I will be watching and reviewing Psycho 3 eventually. And until then, peace out.